I want to get into some of how and why Project Headspace and Timing came to be.
It's interesting when you start to find your place in the world, as far as like when you find that thing that you can do and you feel very authentic and you really love it, you're very passionate about it, and then you start to see how, like, oh, I've been sort of doing this type of stuff my whole life and like I didn't realize it. You know what I mean? Like the artist that has the books when they were in first grade or kindergarten, doodling and drawing pictures and stuff. So like when I was a contractor, there were a couple of times where we had some vets that were like struggling with stuff, and I would always talk to them because I was the medic. And so as the team medic, your physical and mental health was my responsibility. So like if you were struggling with stuff, like I would bring them into my room, I would try to talk to them if I could. And it's not like I was giving them any like life-changing advice. I was just trying to be there for them and then like try to talk them through whatever it is they got going on. And then when I became a private investigator, it really honed, in my opinion, my active listening skills. And because in special investigations, I handled high value claims. So I'm talking to like doctors, judges, whoever that I'm investigating that are the alphas of the alpha. And they're clearly at the top of their class, definitely smarter than me. I'm not going to outsmart them. There's no way. So like I have to be earnest, I have to be honest up front, and I have to be good at active listening. And all of those things throughout my life definitely led into what I do with Project Headspace and Timing, which is really cool to me because it's like I changed my mind so many times. When you change careers, sometimes you think like you wasted your time. You're like, oh, I didn't continue with a career in private investigation, so I just wasted all that time. But you use those skills in other areas of your life, and that like is truly a beautiful thing because it makes you feel like, okay, you've been on this path. You know what I mean? Even though you didn't realize it. It just didn't look the way you thought it did. But all of those things definitely had a part to play in what I do now with Project Headspace and Timing, I think.
Hey there, just wanted to pop in and say thank you so much for watching this episode of Now Streaming. Robin and I really hope you're enjoying it. Subscribe to the channel for more. It helps us make sure that we can keep making episodes. And I hope you enjoyed the rest of this one. So Project Headspace and Timing, for those that have never heard of it, could you give me just like a 15-second elevator pitch? What is it that you guys do?
So Project Headspace and Timing is a nonprofit organization that was formed to bring veterans together with their communities, nature, and themselves. And we do that with a peer support program and several outreach programs. Our peer support program functions through peer support groups, also one-on-one peer support, and sometimes that one-on-one support is done in emergency settings with police departments, hospitals, mental health professionals, where we use peers to just let the veterans that are in crisis know that it's okay, that they can trust these people that they're going to, that they're in a safe place, just to help ease that transition and help them get connected to whoever they need to get connected to. And the outreach programs are just meant to get veterans able to do stuff like this, hiking, fishing, kayaking, mountain biking, because it's just, like we were talking about on the ride over here, man, you just feel good being out in nature. And it feels easier to have like conversations when you're hiking or kayaking or anything like that. You know what I mean? So that is a super long 15-second synopsis of what F.I.N.E is.
First of all, I couldn't agree anymore. I mean, just think about how weird it would be if you and me, who sort of know each other, sat down in a white-walled room in an office, and I just ask you all these deeply personal questions for an hour. Like, it would be strange.
Still definitely possible.
Totally.
But I feel more natural when you ask me those questions and I'm looking at this.
Excellent pitch. That makes perfect sense. And man, I just love what you guys do. Having, friends throughout the years that served, having a brother that served, I just think it's incredibly important for people that go through difficult stuff, right? Which is the biggest understatement of the year when it comes to serving the military. When it comes to just going through similar trauma, similar experiences that bring you just totally out of your life. And two, like, serving in the military is a wildly selfless idea.
Sure.
And I just have so much respect for especially young men and women that, they could do anything. They could go to college and have the college experience or whatever, but instead decide to go through something really mentally and really physically challenging and point their life towards serving others and have a greater cause. I mean, there's just few things more noble. I mean, I have an incredible amount of respect for you guys. And I love what you guys are doing with Project Headspace and Timing. You hear about it in the community all the time. You guys are so popular. I don't know if you know this. I don't know if people tell you, probably not enough at least, that the community loves that you're here.
That means a lot, dude. That means so much. Yeah.
And I think see the need, especially for those that have been through similar experiences, see the need for something like what you guys do. Through those different experiences, you see that you're developing this talent. What was the first moment where you're like, hey, maybe I can create something that doesn't exist yet that can serve people that are going through this? What was that first moment?
The first moment I really had was after John killed himself. I read a book called Tribe by Sebastian Junger. And he's a war journalist. He's done a lot in that space, some really incredible stuff. And Tribe is all about like the issues that he believes veterans have transitioning in the civilian world. And he talks about it historically, like I brought up earlier, all the issues that mentality has coming back to the civilian world. And in it, he mentions throwing a veteran town hall event where you can invite veterans to just come to a space and share whatever they're thinking, feeling, like whatever their emotional response is to war, and they can share that with the public free of judgment. And I was like, okay. And so I went to Village Hall and I asked them if I could do this thing there. It was a very vulnerable moment for me, right? Because it's like, I never really done anything like this. I'm kind of putting myself out there. And they were like, great, yeah, we'll give it to you for free. Don't worry about it. Like, what else do you need? How else can we help support you? Like, it was so encouraging. And so when you say things like, you know, how appreciated we are by the community, like, it means a lot. And it's also because the veteran community is so much more than the veteran. The veteran community is the veteran's spouse, the veteran's employer, the veteran's brother, sister, kids. Like, if you have a veteran in your life that you care about, you're a part of the veteran community. And when I first started FAT, like, this community propped me up. Like, there were so many people and so many businesses around here that helped me when I needed it most. Like, you know the game Mousetrap, where like 1 billion things need to happen for you to win? Yeah. I feel like it was like that, even though we still have plenty to do and plenty of work to do. But like, for us to be where we're at today, it's because of this community, like just rallying around us, supporting us. When I did that town hall event, I had a mom come up to me at the very end of it, and she hugged me and she was crying, and she was like, I didn't know what my son had been through because I didn't know how to ask. I didn't know how to start that conversation. And then her son texted me the next day and said, dude, that's like the best night's sleep I've had in I don't know how long. And it was for sure in that moment, I was like, okay, I got to do this. I got to figure out what this is and like keep doing stuff related to this. You know what I mean? Because I realized that those conversations needed to happen, and that was going to require me to be pretty open and honest about my own stuff, and to find other vets that are willing to be vulnerable and talk about what's going on with them. Because like, that's the first step, right? Is like being vulnerable enough to admit to yourself that you're not doing so well, and then to admit to others that you're not doing so well. So I was just very thankful that I got to have that moment, because that definitely solidified like what I was doing.
Without you, now streaming is beached, and Robin will have to go back to working security. He was really bad at it. Subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time.